Major developments tonight in one of the key races in campaign 2014. As WPRI.com first broke last night, one of the three main Democrats vying to become Providence's next mayor has dropped out of the race. Less than 3 weeks before the primary, Brett Smiley announced today that he's no longer running and instead is backing Jorge Elorza in the Democratic primary. The move leaves Elorza and Michael Solomon on the Democratic side, along with perennial candidate Chris Young. The winner will face Republican Daniel Harrop and Independent Vincent Buddy Cianci in November. Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly joins us live from Providence now with more on the mayoral race shakeup.
And then there were two. With less than 3 weeks to go before the Democratic primary for mayor here in Providence, one of the top leading candidates for mayor is now out. Here's why. From Prospect Park overlooking the prize, Providence City Hall, two Democratic candidates teamed up against a third Democrat running in next month's primary for mayor. Brett Smiley dropped out of the race and threw his support to Jorge Elorza, whose support likely runs wider and deeper.
We all have a role to play in making sure that people like Mike Solomon and Buddy Cianci don't have an opportunity to succeed in our city.
Brett Smiley and Jorge Elorza say City Council President Michael Solomon was leading among the three major Democrats in the race before Brett Smiley dropped out.
I feel confident that we're going to win this race, and I feel confident we're the only ones that could beat Buddy Cianci.
They think they're the only ones who can beat Buddy Cianci and that you have the worst shot.
Have they showed you any numbers?
Jorge Elorza points to an investigation of Michael Solomon by the State Ethics Commission.
We can't afford to elect another mayor that is under investigation. We can't afford it as a city.
There's a very real threat that we could return to the old days in City Hall. And I could not, in good conscience, stand by.
If Mike Solomon becomes the Democratic nominee, then there's a very real chance that Cianci would come back into City Hall, and there is no way that we can allow that to happen.
Former Mayor Buddy Cianci isn't even running in next month's primary, but he might as well be, so we tracked him down too, and we'll play that interview new at 6. Live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Sean Daly, Eyewitness News.
But first, shakeup in campaign 2014. The race for Providence mayor is slimming down ahead of next month's primary as Democrat Brett Smiley officially dropped out of the race today.
It's a story Eyewitness News first broke last night at 10 and 11. Now, right now, the race includes three Democrats who will face off in the primary: Michael Solomon, Jorge Elorza, and Chris Young. The winner will face Republican Daniel Harrop and Independent Buddy Cianci in the November election.
Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly has new reaction from the candidates, including former Mayor Buddy Cianci, live from the Providence Mobile Newsroom.
Politics in Rhode Island famously is a blood sport. Fresh evidence of that came today when two candidates for mayor here in Providence ganged up on a third candidate they were worried might win if they didn't gang up on him.
The next mayor of the city of Providence, Jorge Elorza.
There's nothing subtle about the latest political maneuver in the Democratic race for mayor of Providence. Two candidates worried about losing to a third candidate who might then lose to former Mayor Buddy Cianci in November teamed up to try to prevent that. Brett Smiley dropped out and threw his support to Jorge Elorza. Their hope is that Jorge Elorza will now have a real chance to beat both City Council President Michael Solomon in next month's primary and Buddy Cianci in November. Think of this as the ABC strategy. Anybody but Cianci.
Brett has put his love for the city above his desire to be mayor.
There are more dropouts in this race than in the Providence school system.
Flashing his celebrated wit, former Mayor Cianci tried to sound unconcerned. Does it say something about the damage of two felony convictions that they're going through these maneuvers to gang up against you?
That's very possible, but, you know, I'm legally entitled to run.
Eyewitness News political analyst Joe Fleming believes Buddy Cianci worries more about Jorge Elorza than about Michael Solomon.
I think Elorza concerns him a little bit more due to the fact the minority vote, that this could be another East Side minority coalition that could help win this election.
In some ways, it's like a fight on the playground when it's 2 against 1. The guy who's alone often loses to the two guys who are ganging up on him. Live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Sean Daly, Eyewitness News.